there's a lot of wording in this that makes me think that Homeboy went onto YouTube during the wrong era and became a Sigma guy, Red Pill Man.
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, and welcome to another episode of Movement Radio. I am Chip Hazard.
I'm Talon Williams.
And I'm Roger Sierra. Oh, let me get this off my screen. All right, so got a good old Reddit story that I don't know. I'll see how you guys feel about this bad boy.
Oh boy, something tells me it's going to be good just based on that comment alone. Go ahead.
So this one comes from the Off My Chest subreddit.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Oh, okay.
Um, says my husband to be wants everyone to know I'm not quote unquote pure. It's exactly what the title says. I've been with my fiance for 6 years, engaged for the last 8 months. I've been doing most of the wedding planning, but my fiance, let's just call him Ryan, will give his input here and there. So about a month ago, Ryan out of nowhere said he was talking to some of his coworkers and thinks that I shouldn't wear a white dress. This comes a this was totally weird to me because Ryan is a very artistic guy. So I figured this was more about how the photos would turn out or something along those lines. But I'm set on wearing white. I told him this, and I could see that he was annoyed, but he let it go. Now, 2 weeks ago, I finally picked and paid for my dress, and this caused a huge argument. Ryan again came to me very annoyed. He asked to see the dress I picked, but I said no because I wanted it to be a surprise for our wedding day. He asked me to at least tell him what color it was, and when I said white, he threw a fit. I honestly do not see why this is a big deal. Almost everyone wears white on their wedding day, and when I asked him what color he thought I'd be wearing, he's told me I should wear red. Again, this was super weird to me. I asked him why I would wear red to our wedding, and he told me the brides only wear white when they are pure. Now, for some background, Ryan and I started dating when I was 21 and he had just turned 20. He was a virgin when we met, and I only had one other person who was my ex-boyfriend of 4 years throughout high school. Now, this caused a lot of problems the first year of our relationship, and we almost did not continue dating because of how insecure he felt. Now, after the first year, it was never a problem again until now, I guess. He went to his mom about all this, thinking she would convince me, but she's on my side. So 2 nights ago, Ryan, his mom, and I stood in our living room and argued about my sex life being shown in a dress. His mother stated that he is no longer a virgin either, so maybe he should wear red too, and he bursted out crying. Ryan is still stating Ryan still stating that me wearing white would be deceiving all the guests, and this is different for guys. This all has honestly made me question even marrying this man. I don't know if it's just because everything is so fresh, but I'm really disgusted by him. He's not even religious, so I know this is just about him still thinking about me losing my virginity at 18 before I even met him. I just needed to rant to anyone about this psycho in this post or in the post. So that's the beginning, guys.
That was just the
Uh,
beginning?
yeah.
Okay, so it, just overall thoughts real quick. Um, I don't know that it actually matters if she wears white or not. If you're going to marry this lady, and she is the love of your life, it shouldn't matter what color dress she wears because to you, she's the purest person that you've ever met. Otherwise, you're not going to be willing to spend the rest of your life with her. Just my opinion. I think he's out of pocket on the you need to wear a different color other than white, and the fact that his mother is like, look, man, you're not even pure yourself, so how you gonna try to tell her what to wear and what not to wear? Uh, that's just quick thoughts.
Uh, I'm kind of in the same boat as Chip right there. I mean, that's the thing though, man. Like 9 times out of 10, you're probably not going to be a virgin on your wedding day in today's day and age. You know, yeah, there is the rare occasion of certain women saving themselves for marriage, or certain even men saving themselves for marriage. Yeah, I mean it happens still. I mean definitely in like deep strict religious foundations and things of that nature. Yeah, absolutely, they want to be a virgin until they get married. That's cool. But 9 times out of 10, that's not the case. I guarantee you, every person in a relationship, especially in today's day and age, they got at least one or two bodies, So it's not like you know, it's not like it's a big deal, especially if she says she loves you and she's committed to you and she's loyal to you and she wants to be with you for the rest of her life. Who cares what color the dress is? So that's just my initial thoughts at that.
Where are you at on it, Raj? Just your initial thoughts.
So my initial thoughts, since I totally know what happens, but for the first half, there's a lot of wording in this that makes me think that Homeboy went onto YouTube during the wrong era and became a Sigma guy, Red Pill Man, because
Mm.
he talks. It said he had. Let me go back to it real quick because I went to the update. Let me go back. Let me see.
Oh, saying that it didn't matter whether he was a virgin or not. It only mattered if she
Yeah,
was.
yeah.
Yeah.
For guys, it's different. Everybody will know she's lying. Um, Also for the fact that um, it just now became a problem. Beef, but even though they were talking about it, it wasn't an issue. Where's the other one that I read? Oh, for the first year, her not being a virgin was an issue, but then it just suddenly became an okay thing, and it's popping up now, and he's trying to dictate what she can wear no matter what, trying to be in charge. Also for the fact that he says he was talking to his coworkers about this. How does that come up at work?
Yeah. Like, why? Like,
Like,
they
what
like they ain't
dude's
got
like,
shit
hey,
to do with your relationship. Why do you care?
what dude's like, hey, what color dress your wife wearing at her wedding?
Right.
I
We don't give a
Yeah.
shit.
Right.
sounds a little suspect to me.
Right.
Yeah,
Like it'd be one thing if she was like, "Hey, baby, I know traditionally people like to wear white, but what if I wore red, or what if I wore a different color?" Like, it's 2024. People got all kinds of crazy ideas for what they want their wedding to be and stuff like that, and it's to their own preference, their own styling, and even the post what you just read, Roger, is that the guy's not even a religious guy. So why should he care one way or another if she's pure or to be seen as pure? Like, to me, that just like, bro, you're taking this shit to a point that it don't need to be there. You're worried about a damn dress,
Fresh
the
and
color
Fit
of a
told
dress.
him that only people in white are pure women and they can't be otherwise.
Hey, man.
Fresh and Fit, man.
Fresh if yeah. All right,
Uh,
man. All right, all right.
all right, so technically she has a couple updates, but this is the update for this post. There was another post, but I'm not going to get into that one.
Okay.
Yeah, just get into this one though.
Because she updated the other post first and then updated this one. Um, the original post was where the crap was that? The original post for this one was uh 1 year ago, I guess April or May. Then they posted something else, and then they updated this one just 2 months ago. So a lot's
Oh
happened
wow.
since then.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
but this one literally says, "This is my update 1 year later on the whole situation. I will start by saying I did not get married. Ryan made that decision quite easily for me. I remember reading a comment that said I had to already have been done with the relationship for me to move on so fast. And that statement was very true. Oh, excuse me. As much as I want to be the bigger person and not slander Ryan, go ahead, do it. He
Yeah.
deserves it. I won't go into all of our issues, but there are some big ones that I would like to address. The absolute deal breaker for me had nothing to do with the red dress, but instead was all of his little lies that built out through our entire relationship. So Ryan's a very smart man, and I can't take that away from him. We actually met because even though I am a year older than him, he graduated a year before me. We had mutual classes, and for someone so smart, he always got caught in dumb lies. As far as I know, he never cheated on me. That was something that I know a lot of people assume, but even now I don't believe it. There was Never any big lie that caused massive drama, but rather a mountain of little white lies that always made me question why. He would lie to people about having allergies. He would lie about stopping for food before coming home. He would lie about losing weight. He is a healthy weight with a very normal build. He would just lie about so many things that did not matter. My issue was this: I had absolutely no trust in the man over literally nothing. I don't know if that should be anything. I never held him back from doing things, and he never asked permission to do things. So him going out of his way to lie about meaningless things really made me start to resent him. I do not think he ever talked to his coworkers about the dress. I think that was another lie. After telling him I did not want to be together anymore, I asked him about everything that happened surrounding the wedding. I got no real answers out of him, and till this day, I have no real closure. My best assumption is that he got stuck into misogynist forms surrounding purity and made up a story to bring it up to me. Now our breakup was pretty nasty since he talked about me a lot online. For the most part, I had support. No one ever really reached out to me or threatened me, but it's still annoying having my feed filled with rumors. I cheated and I broke up our engagement over nothing. There was a lot of name calling as well. Apparently, I ran through, I'm fat, I let myself go. I looked miserable without him. Eventually, he stopped on his own as I never acknowledged any of it. Even with the online harassment, he never really fought to save our engagement. I was actually hurt by how he seemed equally as ready to part ways. We have no contact with each other at all, but I do know that last month he actually got engaged again. All I know about this girl is that she is 23, a hardcore Catholic, and actually looks very sweet. For her sake, I hope they work out. I do not still talk to Ryan's mom. Sorry to disappoint. She was very kind to me through everything, but for me to continue talking to her would be a bit weird. I still got a happy birthday text and a Merry Christmas text. I did have a date 2 weeks after I called off my engagement, which was literally the next post that she actually did before this update.
Gotcha.
Um, so like I was like, oh, spoilers. But that date didn't go anywhere and it was never meant to. For me, the date was just to see if I felt any guilt for moving on, which I had none. I had a huge career shift 2 months ago, and now living in Philadelphia, far away from all the drama. I'm happy with where I am and where I'm at. And he seems happy with his life. I don't think I'll ever have to interact with him again. I'm sorry for waiting so long to update. There was never really a right moment, and there was also probably many grammatical errors, but whatever. Yes, there was plenty of grammatical errors. Um,
I'm not even reading it, and I know it's
but
grammatically incorrect.
so they lived in North Carolina. I read the other post. They had lived in North Carolina, so she got a new job, moved up to Philadelphia, within that year of everything happening as well too. So yeah, big move. Just getting away from everything. But I didn't go into that other post as much, so I don't know exactly how the date went or what or anything like that. But no, I think she did the right thing because she broke up with a dude that couldn't be honest with her ever, was trying to control her randomly now. Obviously had no respect for her if he would go online and just start disrespecting her.
that's
Um,
that's that red pill rage, man.
yep. And then he also got engaged within a year.
See, that's suspicious. That's suspicious too. You getting like you break off the engagement, you're engaged almost a year later. So I don't know. The whole comment of maybe she says, "Oh, I don't think he was cheating." I don't know. It's suspect at this point. Maybe he was. If he wasn't like full fledged like cheating, he was definitely talking to other women. I think. At least that's the perception that I'm getting.
Well, I feel like since I think he's a low key narcissist since he lies about everything, and you know how easy it is for narcissists to get people to fall in love with them. So it probably wasn't even that hard.
Mhm.
He probably met this girl probably like 4 months before being engaged with her. So
Yeah, rizzed
who
her up,
knows?
and like, yeah, hey, and but then, yeah, I mean, who knows? What are your
Chip,
thoughts, Chip? Yeah,
Whew, there's a whole lot to unpack there.
yep. Get a
With the
suitcase.
update, uh, I agree. I think she did the absolute best thing for her. 100%. This dude is definitely a narcissist trying to like, oh, you've got to wear, red because you're not pure, whatever. But then the update goes on to say that she called him in like little lies that don't matter, like being allergic to something. Who lies about being allergic to something?
Allergies are not fun. We all know this.
Allergies suck.
Yeah. Why would you want to make yourself suffer randomly?
I mean,
My head hurts.
okay,
Oh my God, my head hurts. What's wrong? Allergies. Take your aspirin. Like, I mean,
Jesse is currently dealing with an allergic reaction to a medication that she started taking over the weekend. Uh, has since quit taking the medication, but like it's hard for her to catch her breath. She's having some slight chest pains, uh, fatigued, all because of this medication. Like that's not something that you want to have.
No.
So
no.
to just randomly be like, oh, I've got this allergy. Like, bruh, no, you are a complete narcissist and you want to try to A, control everything around you and B, at the same time, be the center of attention. Like, yeah, that's
I,
that's where I'm at on that.
I think I think this story is kind of a microcosm of the like because you have brought up the whole red pill thing and things of that nature, and there's a whole bunch of content. The shit really exploded during the pandemic is when all this kind of
Fresh
red pill
Fit.
stuff kind of exploded. Well, it wasn't just Fresh and Fit.
I mean, Andrew Tate, Fresh Fit.
Okay. Well, okay, like you say Fresh and Fit, but even before Fresh and Fit, there was Rollo Tomasi, there was Michael Sartain, there was Kevin Samuels. There was a whole bunch of pro men.
Misogynist.
Like, yeah, no,
Pro
I'll just be
misogynist.
honest. Yeah, I'm going to say this about the red pill space. I think there's good and bad to it. I think if you talk about self improvement, getting your money up, getting your physique on point, self improving, that's I'm totally cool with self improvement. But once you get into like the intersexual dynamics and shit like that, that's where the shit gets very, very gray because you're like, dude, like just let people love who they want to love. Why is it such a big deal for you to, and then they go into a whole lot of like right wing conspiracy theory stuff that they throw in there also. And then it becomes more of a political movement than it is like, because if at first it was just about, self improvement, and now it's about something completely different. Basically, Red Pill is according to what they say, is that they are fighting feminism because like it's like two sides of the same coin in a sense. It's like, I don't get it, and yeah, self improve, get yourself in the gym, lose weight, make money, go after your dreams, strive, go do what you need to do to, to make yourself a better person, to, provide for your family, protect your family and things of that nature. But then once it comes to the like, I won't even date a girl if she has slept with three guys over the course of 24 years. If once she hits 25, she's hit her peak and no man's going to want to take her seriously. It's like, dude, really? It's like, yeah, if you get married, then you're a moron because in this day and age, a woman can take you for everything that you have. And I'm like, all right, dude. The only question I keep asking myself is who hurt this guy? you know?
Women. Himself, technically, because the way he treated women and how he treated them back with the same energy.
My man. That's what I'm talking about.
Like, here's the thing: those guys suffered the worst sin, and I used to do the same. I still sometimes do, and that's fucking pride. When our egos get hurt, we get so angry, so offensive that we are willing to hurt whoever just so we can feel happy again. Happy
It just happens to be their target is,
women.
women and feminism, OnlyFans models and different things of that nature and stuff. And, like I said, yes, there's pros and cons, but unfortunately the cons far outweigh the pros, especially when it comes to intersexual dynamics.
And here's the thing: I leave intersexual dynamics always alone because I'm not a woman. I'm not going to tell a woman what to do with her body.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Amen.
I'm a
Yep.
dude. I can tell a dude what not to do or what to do. When it comes to a woman, I can't tell her shit. That ain't me.
Nope.
Do what you got to
Nope.
do.
I
Like,
don't have the same organs to be able to say, this is what's going to help this or this is what's going to help that or you don't need to do this because it's going to cause that, or you don't need to do that because it's going to cause this. Like,
Also, them saying that women are inferior to men bugs me so fucking much
dude.
every time. You like,
oh,
go have a baby, see who's inferior.
That's another thing. No, hold on, because that's another thing that they always say. It's like men want women who are young and fertile. How many kids do you have? Oh, that's right. You don't have any kids. So the whole
Not
point
only
of
that,
you wanting a fertile woman, huh?
not only that, nowadays with our medicine and technology, women can have babies up to their 40s.
Yeah.
oh, even longer than that.
It gets a little bit more risky, like really risky past that, but 40s
Yeah.
like that good stability point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the
So,
oldest person to have a kid was like what? A woman. The oldest woman to have a child was like 51, 52, something like that. It
Oh,
may be older than
I
that. I'm
thought it
not
was older
sure.
than that.
yeah.
It
That was
may
closer to
have been
60,
last
yeah.
time I looked, it was 51, 52. If you guys know something I don't, please tell me because that's the last thing I remember.
But
But
even then, like we boys, we men do not have childcare implanted in us like that. We don't have
no,
a womb. We don't have the umbilical cord that feeds the baby. We don't have old titty glands that make milk for them and anything like that.
right?
We don't get to tell women what to do, and we don't get to call them inferior because we don't hold something in our stomach for 9 months and then rip our anus apart and our vagina apart just for
Yep.
this little moment.
Yep.
Uh,
No,
so
you're right. You are right.
100% correct. So to answer that question, the oldest recorded woman to actually conceive and naturally birth a baby was 74 years old.
Oh my
What?
God. Hugh Hefner's wife? His first one?
Yeah.
I wonder how painful that must have been.
Oh my
Uh,
God.
and just last year in the UK, just the United Kingdom, more than 20 babies were born to women over the age of 50.
Mm, that's
See, don't
crazy, man.
like I know I
70? Whoa.
so
74.
That's
we
crazy,
know
man.
we know women can have with now medicine and technology and everything, can have babies very late.
Yes.
But I'm not saying this is like a woman should do this before. Don't get me wrong. But do you think there is an age where you're like, hold on, I should have a baby, so I'm not too old to have this like dynamic with this baby? Because I mean, 74 years old, yeah, that's extreme. So we're not going to go there. But 50 years old, I mean, you get another good 30, 40-ish years with the
Well,
kid.
so the way I look at it, so by all of my friends' standards, uh I had like Jesse and I had kids later in our relationship. I was 32 when Grayson was born. So you think I just immediately go to like 20. So by the time he turns 20, I'm 52. I'm
Yeah.
still old enough to
Mhm.
enjoy the later part of my life, but still young enough to like enjoy grandkids and stuff like that if he decides to have kids
Young.
as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, but
Yeah.
you think like much older than that, like you go to 40, right? By the time your child turns 20, you're 60.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now you're like it's kind of in my opinion, and this is just my opinion, uh you're on that cusp of being on the downward slope of your life. And I know with medicine and technology, people are living longer nowadays. Um,
It
but
also
you
depends
just
on how
think,
you take care of yourself too,
yeah,
Exactly.
I,
Exactly.
I have to think in terms of the average person and not the person who, you know, has money for like personal trainers and stuff, because those are the people that are really living longer.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. And that's like a 5% of the total population, if less than that, who have those liberties and those privileges to be able to do something like that. Like I didn't have Amy was 23 when Malachi was born. I was 27. Like Piper was born in 2020, and she was 30, I was, 34. But at least by the time Piper's 20, I'm gonna be 54. God willing, I live that long. You know, I do at least want to at least enjoy the time that I have with my kids now, but also be able to watch them grow up, and still be young enough to have somewhat energy to be like, hey, now I can go do things with my son, you know, like with like different things, you know what I mean? And I can, the thing that bugs me the most about the red pill stuff is not just what they say about women, but how they're so hypocritical when it comes to certain things. Is like, oh, we're in an open relationship. Okay, well, what does that mean? Oh, no, it's open on my end. It's not open on her end. She can't have sex with anybody else, but I can have sex with anybody I want to. And then they hit with the whole like, if you ask any man in this world and they're truly honest with themselves, if you could have sex with a whole bunch of women and your wife wouldn't get upset about it, you would do it. And it's like, okay, well, who are we talking about? Because a lot of people, they do have a religious foundation to them. Because I mean, yes, because me and my wife, me and my wife specifically, we were born, we we got married in the church, right? And it's just me. When you're married, you become one, that whole thing, and you are to forsake all others, which is part of the vow that you take when you get married. You know, and me and my wife have been together 14 years. We've been married 14 years. Got no reason why I would try to, find another woman. Why? I told Chip this. I told Chip this a couple of months ago. I'm like, why the fuck would I leave the house to go get a bologna sandwich when I got prime rib at the house? You know what I mean? Like, what's the point of doing that? But I get it. That's their lifestyle. That's the way they want to live their life. And if they feel like that's how they want to live their life, you know what? Do you? But when shit turns around and bites you in the ass in your later years, don't say no one warned you about it. You know what I mean?
Oh no, for sure. Um, like I said, I don't. We're all for the motivation, making your life better. Making yourself smarter, better, healthier, all that stuff. But don't disrespect women. We
Yeah,
don't go through what they go through, so
exactly.
we have no rights to say anything about that.
Yeah.
Um, but no. So after that Reddit story and um, little squabble, I guess. I guess we can move on to I guess weeks slash draft. I would say anime, but there's a lot of more other stuff we needed to cover. So I was going to say just week slash just
Yeah.
key points of the draft,
And
and
I've been
then
sick, and I've been sick as shit this week with dealing with this fucking toothache and everything. The swelling on my face has gone down, so that's a good thing. The penicillin worked. Um, Still got a little bit of a nagging, little bit of a not an abscess, but it's more like some inflammation right here on this under part of my nose right there. But other than that, it's fine. But yeah, I got a lot of catching up to do. I haven't watched the last two episodes of Windbreaker. I hadn't watched the last episode of Delicious in Dungeon. Um, I was trying to start. I was trying to rewatch Hell's Paradise, but never got a chance to finish that either. So yeah, it's been a hellish week. So anyway, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, Roger. Go ahead.
I mean, go ahead and just
Oh,
finish up
I
your week.
yeah, I thought you were
Oh no, no,
going
I
into
was
your
no, no,
week.
no, no, no. I was just ranting. That's all I was doing. I was ranting. It's the last weeks have been just insane. I did catch up on wrestling. Did watch the draft. And we'll get into the draft stuff here in a minute. Shout out to my sister, by the way. She got me this New Day Booty-O shirt for like $5 at like some store. I can't remember which store she said she got it from. Dirt cheap, I think is what it was. Um, but yeah, other than that, it's been trying not to go insane in this house, and you know, had an interesting like me and Chip actually had this conversation last night, as a matter of fact. I realized that I am a true millennial and I'm not a zennial like I thought I was, because I was of the mindset that zennials, the micro generation, because you can talk about Gen Z, millennials, or Gen X, millennials, and Gen Z, and all that bullshit. I was like, well, I thought I was a zennial because I was under the impression that zennials were born between 1983 to 19. 1988. That's not the year. It's 1978 to 1983, and I'm like, what? So I'm a millennial? That's crazy because I thought I was too young for Gen X, but I was too old for being a millennial. So I was confused for a little bit. My whole world flipped upside down. Chip had to send me the Wikipedia article to do that. So there went my smile. But anyway, but no. Uh, Chip, what about you, man? How did your week go?
I mean, it was kind of a mundane week. Watched watched wrestling, caught, the draft, the WWE draft. I also caught the NFL draft. Um, and that's about it. I watched a little bit of anime, not much. Um, Jesse's been sick most of the week. Got some antibiotics this weekend. I was, like I was telling during the Reddit story, uh, had an adverse reaction to that. So, you know, other than that, it's really just kind of been a very mundane week. What about you, Raj?
Um, I remember what did I do for most of the week? Work. Caught up on a crap ton of anime. I think I caught up to everything. Work was really slow, so I was watching anime there.
Yeah.
I also watched all Harry Potter movies again.
Those are so good.
They're so good. Um, but no, I watched all those. Watched a few new cooking shows that are on Max. One is called Wild Card Kitchen. I believe that's what it's called. Essentially, you get three chefs and they're playing quote unquote poker. They're playing a card game, um, and they each come in with $5,000 each, and they bet on they do a hand and they bet on whatever they put their money in, and then they get these big cards, and these big cards are um, either either how do you call them? Not really sabotages, but they're like you can't do a certain thing or use a certain item or stuff like that, or you only have a certain amount of time to do all this and everything like that. Like they're challenges, but like there's some that are worse than others. And then two chefs compete for the pot. And then obviously, the winner is whoever gets all the money at the end or whatever like that. It's really, really good, really interesting.
Is it similar to Cutthroat Kitchen?
No, it's literally them playing poker, and then when they finish the hand, they're like, "Oh, I want to do this challenge." Like they'll draw instead of being like the river, they'll get the challenge cards, and they'll be like, "Oh, okay, I think I can do this competition."
Okay.
And everything like that. Some of them will tell you like what protein you can use, what protein you can't use, stuff like that. So it's really just really great to see these high level chefs think on their feet so quickly and not like really know what's going on and not know what they're going to have be able to use or anything like that until the moment happens, and then you're like, oh yeah, these guys are at that level. Like we always talk about like the level of professional and like novice is such a huge gap. Like you
Oh,
can
Yeah.
it's huge, huge.
like NFL to college is such a huge gap, and we see it all the time. But like seeing it in a kitchen, there's like when you'd see like, oh, you watch like MasterChef stuff like that, you would see these not pro chefs, but they're chefs who have a lot of experience and everything.
Hmm.
But you could always tell the standout chefs from the other chefs or like the guys that or girls that are on that other level. You're like, man, this is not even close. Like I'm just gonna watch until everybody loses, pretty much.
Like Iron Chef, pretty much.
Yeah, and then the other one from there is a new one also on Max called 24 and 24. So this is different because they filmed the whole thing in 24 hours, no breaks, nothing.
Oh,
Literally in
wow.
between. And they bring in 24 chefs, and these aren't just like regular chefs either. These are former Iron Chefs, Master Chefs, Johnny Beard winners, and Johnny Beard is like the second highest level of like chef could get besides Michelin stars. There are some
Yeah.
Michelin star chefs and proteges and stuff like that in there. And like the first challenge is there's 12 stations, and each station has a different protein, and they have 24 minutes, I believe, is the first challenge to make a dish with their protein at the same station somebody else is. So you're trying not to make the same dish, but you're also supposed to beat them. But they also get graded, or sorry, they get judged by other high tier professional chefs. But the cool thing, like I said, is this challenge is literally a 24-hour. So while stuff is happening on one end, you can literally see the people, the producers and production people moving stuff in the background, literally moving things back and forth, back and forth, back and forth.
Oh wow.
And as each one goes on, like each day goes on, or each day, each challenge goes on, like you can literally see them like getting stuff ready for the next one, getting stuff ready for the next one. So I'm like, oh, they really filmed this in 24 hours. And I think I got up to episode 3, and they were like 6 hours in, and they had done 7 challenges, I believe, at this point, like just straight cooking. They're just
Wow.
cooking the whole
Wow.
time, like the whole time.
So is it
It's
more of an endurance thing than
yeah,
anything else?
endurance
Holy
thing, but
shit.
also like they're fatigued because they're like Scott Conant was the second, who's my favorite chef ever. He was the second judge for the challenges and everything. He said like normally during like competitions like he does, because he's on Chopped and everything like that, so he's one of the
Yeah.
judges, so he knows how to go.
Yeah.
He's like normally you'd shoot for 8 hours a day, you get 2 or 3 segment, like you get 2 or 3 episodes shot. People in between when somebody's presenting, people to go take a break or whatever like that. No, he's like these people are consistently going. He's literally looking, he's talking to one camera, and you can literally see the other camera guy moving across to get in position to film the next segment right behind while somebody's still cooking. And like it's all just
Wow.
like it's all chaotic because there's literally people just moving back and forth. When they're all going to go get their items from like the fridge or pantry or whatever,
Yeah.
there's literally like producers moving stuff out of the way, and the camera guy is literally going between people like with the camera, like it's all horrible shaking. It's like old Michael Bay style shaking cam. Like I'm like,
Oh
oh
wow.
my god, it's like what is going on?
Give
But it
somebody a damn
is,
epileptic seizure watching a food show. Like
but
what?
it's so intense, and these guys are like ridiculous. And like two of the guys are like retired. One's a retired Marine who's like after his tour he didn't know what to do, so he's took up cooking, and the other one was an army cook, and he's like, I was like, I love cooking. That's what I did. That's what I did. I did my 2 tours. I love cooking. Want to do something else, and just kept doing it. And then you have this guy. Spoiler alert, one of those 2 guys, I can't remember if it was the Marine or the Army chef himself. They beat a Michelin star chef at their station on the competition.
Oh wow.
Like that's who everybody picked to be like the number one, was that one girl, and he just beat her. Like he just had like enough season and just barely enough season and flavor. Like the judge literally, like the first judge that went through, he's like, it's like this much difference between each person's like orders or anything like that. It was ridiculous. And I was just like, this is intense. And then you literally see, like I was saying, after they finish one competition, stuff's happening. You see it over and over, just stuff happening, moving stuff back and forth. And literally like camera people filming the person cooking, and then you see a camera guy moving around to get to them to get to the other side for the interview when the guy comes up, and you see all this happening. Like you see the behind the scenes happening at all times. I was like, this is so interesting. I really loved it.
So is the show more about the cooking, or is the show more about the production behind the cooking?
Is like the cooking, but you see the production happening because they
Okay.
don't stop filming. It's 24 hours
Okay.
straight.
Okay. I didn't know.
Um,
I didn't know if maybe if that was like a part of it. Like,
Nope. They're
you
just
know,
like, hey, you're gonna film people in this shot because we can't stop filming. They're
there
literally
you
doing
go.
24 hours straight. But
Okay.
it's been really good, really interesting. Um,
Hmm.
what else did I watch besides that? The Real World Challenge continues. They're doing All Star Season 4, which I love. Real World Challenge, like my favorite competition. The Season 4 started. I've been watching that, caught up on that. The Circle is another Netflix competition show I like that I saw. They actually moved to Atlanta from the UK, so it's cool. I may actually try to get on that show next season.
There you
Oh,
go.
nice.
So I can win me 250K.
There you go. After taxes and all that, you'll probably bring home whatever.
Georgia has less taxes.
That
Remember?
no. I mean, you're still bringing less than
Yeah,
250K though.
it's like what is it? It's 5% for production taxes. So I'd still get 220K or something
200
like that.
something like that. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean,
you still get something
It's money
good.
we
Yeah,
don't. I didn't have to begin
it's
with.
money you didn't have at the beginning. Exactly.
yeah, I mean, at the bare minimum, you're going to walk out with 200K.
Yeah,
Yeah, which
at
is
least
I didn't have it before.
at least
So
6 figures. Right. Exactly.
yeah. No, that company should I like it because it's just so brain dead and dumb, but very unique at the same time.
Yeah.
Um,
Sabotage, betrayal, friendships. What's gonna happen?
I like that one. I'm trying to think. Was there? I think that
Oh,
was it. Show wise, I mean, I
yeah.
caught up on a bunch of anime, like I
Yeah.
said. And then I've been watching the NBA finals playoffs. I've been watching the NHL playoffs as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
What else is there? I saw some of the drafts. Um, but I want to get real quick to the WWE draft. Um, I was disappointed with it. There was no real huge moves besides Braun moving from SmackDown to Raw.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and SmackDown picking up Carmelo Hayes,
Well, he's
like
already there, sort of ish.
sort of ish. Yeah,
Yeah,
it was a very
Flat.
yeah.
it really was like there was no shakeup to it. It
No,
was
No.
like, oh, Raw picks Jey Uso. Okay, well he's been there for the last year, and SmackDown picks Bianca Belair. Like, okay, well she's been on SmackDown. Like,
yeah. It
let,
was
let's
so unsatisfying because it was just so nobody moved besides Braun Breaker.
I
and
mean, and
I
you brought up
mean,
Kiana James, but how many people on the main roster, or how many people who don't watch NXT on a weekly basis knows who that is? You
First
know
of
what I
all,
mean?
why was she the one picked up?
No clue.
No
yeah,
JC Jane, no Roxanne Perez, none that can actually wrestle.
Roxanne Perez, well, then
Well, she
again,
was protected technically. She
she's
was
technically
champion.
protected because she's NXT Women's Champion. Um, but I mean, and then they did a supplemental draft
Which
after
the
they brought up Baron
the
Corbin from NXT back to SmackDown. I figured they would put him on Raw so he
that
can,
yeah, that was the biggest shakeup. Is
like,
they split up the Wolf Dogs.
yeah.
That was the biggest shakeup.
But I think,
Uh,
but they said something that, like, I was under the assumption that anybody who's not getting drafted is probably going to get released because they've already had like I think 6, 7 releases already so
oh,
far in
I
the
don't.
spring cleaning. I think there's going to be more.
I,
Like
I
I see
mean,
Dexter
there may
Loomis
be
leaving.
there
Go
may
ahead.
be more. You're right, but I don't see. I don't. Whatever report you read that said if they don't get drafted, they're getting released. Like,
they
I
don't have
don't
enough time
see
to draft
that.
everybody.
I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not saying that was anything I read. I said that was just an idea. I thought like, okay,
Oh,
were they going to release? Yeah, because I mean, because I can see them letting Dexter Loomis go. I hate to say it, but I can see them letting Cedric Alexander go. Um, there's several other people in the company that they're not doing anything with. Like they weren't using Jinder Mahal. They weren't using. Really, Indashir wasn't even really getting used other than a couple of pop-ups here and there in the back, and a couple of backstage segments, but that was about it. And I don't know, like, I mean, where WWE is thinning their rosters, AEW is just adding more people to their already 350 person roster, you know?
we don't talk about arena empty wrestling.
Yeah.
I saw that sign too. Yeah, I thought that was great.
So so the only two things about AEW that caught me off guard. Well, one thing caught me off guard. One thing didn't. I knew. Number one that didn't catch me off guard. MJF has to have surgery. He did his therapy or physical therapy wasn't helping. He couldn't get past the injury.
Mm.
We know because he's been so gone for so long. Like there's no even
Yeah,
if you're rehabbing, at some point you would have showed your face at some
Yeah.
point.
exactly.
Second thing is Darby Allin got hit by a bus.
Yeah. He was
Like
walking across the street, not
with his
paying
bump
attention,
with his
and
bump foot. The universe is
I
literally giving him a sign saying you're not climbing Everest, no matter
yeah,
what.
you
dude,
broke your foot, you get hit by a bus. I mean, what else has to happen?
I seen a thing about that, and it was just basically fan fiction. But it was like, sorry. Um, they were saying, oh, the bus hit who Darby, who this pro wrestler, Darby Allen. Oh, he'll be fine. Have you ever seen his matches?
Yeah.
Saying that it was basically like a train wreck.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not wrong.
Mm-mm.
No, they're not. Now they're doing this stupid thing with Tony Khan. They're basically just rehashing the NWO storyline, basically,
Keep it
all over
kayfabe, baby. Keep
again.
it kayfabe.
Yeah. And then Tony Khan gets on the NFL network and says the things that he says. I'm
Keeping
like,
it kayfabe,
dude,
brother.
hey, kayfabe my ass. I mean,
He
at
was
this
still
point
there with
is
a neck brace.
yeah. Well, neck brace where you can legit turn your head. Like he was doing that the whole draft. I'm just
You
like
can. That's why they have the other one that actually wides your head shut. Or
that.
still.
But that was the one that that was the picture that I seen with him with like the it
No,
has like
he just has a regular neck brace.
yeah, but there was a picture online of him having the like the medical one, not just the one that wraps. I seen that picture.
Because
He,
one I
he
saw was from everything is just the regular one that's not
Yeah.
tied down, not
no
Just
wired down.
the foam,
yeah.
Yeah,
the
it's just
foam.
regular foam.
I mean, I'll find the picture and show you guys what I'm talking about. But yeah, I mean, that was a picture of him with one of those legit medical neck braces on. I have to go through and look for it here in a minute, but nevertheless, but yeah, that's the bullshit that AEW is going through right now. I don't get it. I don't understand. Okay, I mean, you're not doing yourself any favors by trying to start a war with it's like let people like whatever they want to like, that's fine,
No.
but it's like you talk about you hate tribalism and yet you feed into the tribalism. Like dude, you're either pointing out a contradiction in your business philosophy or you're just showing you're a hypocrite.
But what was the other one?
Excuse me.
With the Darby Allen MJF thing. Drew McIntyre's hurt, as we knew, because he's off TV again.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But he did sign his contract, so he's staying. Oh, who would have thought that?
Right.
Big
Well,
news.
what about your favorite tag team signing with the AEW?
I'm so mad about that.
Grizzly Young Vets.
No, the Motor City Machine
Oh,
Guns.
Motor City Machine Guns. Yeah, okay.
I'm so disappointed in that. Like I can't support them anymore. I really can't.
They're going to be and they're going to be cannon fodder for the Young Bucks, and they're going to put on good matches with like I mean because you'll get them versus FTR, you'll get them versus Grizzly Young Vets, you'll get them versus a couple of other teams, maybe the Acclaimed, but
Why
Nope,
would
not
you get
declaimed
them
because they're
versus
suspended.
yeah, and why would you get them versus GYV? They signed with Impact.
Hmm.
Impact. I'm sorry, yeah, you're right. I don't know why I was thinking AEW. That's my fault. I apologize. I
They
don't know
already
why I was
had their
thinking
matches
GYV.
against GYV.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
My mistake.
yeah. But yeah, yeah, I feel like it's so bad I can't support them anymore. And it hurts me so much. I was really hoping they would mysteriously make their way to WWE just to have that one run together.
Even
Because
if
that
would it just an NXT run? Would it have to be, or would it have to be like a main roster kind of
oh,
deal?
main roster run, because their main roster tag team division is garbage right now.
Yeah.
You ain't lying.
And Motor City Machine Gun would definitely be the bar setters for them right now.
I
Because
mean, speaking of tag team division, what tag teams do they have? New Day?
WWE,
Yeah, WWE.
A-Town Down Under, Awesome Truth, New Day, Legado
New
de Phantasmum, LWO,
New Catch
Judgment
Republic,
Day, New Catch Republic,
DIY,
DIY, which I
the Creed brothers, but they're not being used.
well, they're about to be used with Chad Gable's thing, but
You think so?
Alpha
You think that's where they're
Academy,
gonna go?
yeah, Alpha Academy, um, shoot, that's 10. I mean,
Yeah.
that's 5 and 5.
Because last Monday they broke up Imperium.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. Like, you can't use the periods. That's why I didn't say them. So
There's a report actually about that, that they kicked Giovanni Vinci out and they were going to bring up Ilya Dragunov to join Imperium. I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. Why would the guy who's been beefing with Gunther for so long and basically been the only guy, one of the only guys, there's a very, very select group of people who can say they actually beat Gunner straight up in a match, why would you put Elia with Ludwig and Gunther? That like okay, I get it. They're like these foreign British or foreign, foreign menaces, and they come together, allied powers or whatever, but it's like that doesn't make sense for the story. Like it doesn't make sense at all, but not my company. So, let them make whatever decision they want to make, I guess. But I think it would be a bad decision. I don't know.
Yeah, there's 10 teams, so like I said, 5-5. Um, yeah. I'm
Yeah,
trying to
because
think.
the Usos broke up, Imperium broke up.
I
I
mean,
I guess
technically, you have the bloodline still.
technically you still with
Technically,
Solo and Tama.
Yeah,
Uh,
which I found
because
out what MFT stands for, which I was like, hmm,
okay,
what?
what does MFT stands for?
a motherfucking Tongan.
Oh, okay.
My MFT,
Uh,
my motherfucking Tongan.
Okay.
okay.
I guess that's why
But
they. I
but
guess that's why they made it
but the
initials
way he
instead of
says it was just so weird. I'm like,
my
hmm,
MFT.
my MFT, Tonga. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
You do you, bro. You do you.
Hey, man.
So, now for anybody that is interested in and will be watching, um, Tama Tonga will have his debut, in-ring debut this coming Saturday at Backlash.
Yeah.
It'll be
Um,
uh Solo and Tama Tonga versus Owens and Orton.
RKO.
Yeah, yeah.
RKO.
RKO.
RKO. There you go.
Yeah. But there was something else I was gonna say. Dang, I can't remember. There was something else wrestling wise. I can't remember what it was. Must not have been that
You talking about
important.
all the re-debuts of Impact?
No.
Broken Matt Hardy,
Santana.
Mike Santana,
All in
Sammy
one night. Like they
Callahan.
really took after
Yeah,
AEW. That was so bad.
yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
there's that. The return of Maven at ROW Reality
Yes.
Wrestling. Did you
Yes.
Yes.
guys actually watch that?
Uh,
Rumble?
I I haven't watched
I
all of
haven't.
it.
I haven't got
I
a chance to
Uh,
started
watch it. You sent it to me when I was at work, and I couldn't watch
eh,
it. So,
I started watching it at lunch today at work, but I didn't get through the whole thing.
there's a lot of guys from they're doing a roster share with Deep South Wrestling from Memphis. Some bad boys down there.
oh
Some
yeah,
bad boys down there.
Is
it's
did Deep
Memphis.
South
It's
did
Memphis.
Deep South move to Memphis? Because it
Yep.
used to be in Atlanta.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
Okay.
when they talk about it, they said on commentary they talked about Deep South Wrestling out of Memphis.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Because
that's
back
still
in the
that's still a
day,
drive though. Like fuck that. That's still a drive.
well,
It's still a drive. Yeah.
Memphis is it's a yeah, from Atlanta to Memphis it's like 5.5
No, I'm
hours.
talking
No, no,
about
no.
to
But from
Houston.
Memphis to Houston.
Houston. Oh
Yeah, that's where
Yeah.
reality wrestling
yeah,
is. To
about five and a
Houston.
half hours.
Definitely more than
Probably.
that.
That's definitely more than that. From
Well, fuck.
Chattanooga to Houston, it's 14 hours.
Yeah, let's see, it's gonna be double digits. It's gonna be 10 to 12 hours.
Just for my own self-aggrandizement, I'm going to look up okay. See, not my location. Let's see, Memphis, Tennessee
But
to Houston, Texas. From Memphis, Tennessee, this is just from downtown to downtown. Oh yeah, you guys, I was way off.
yeah, to Texas from anywhere in Tennessee is double digits.
Yeah.
8 hours and 49 minutes.
I thought it was at least
Oh, I
10.
thought it
Was
was
traffic
If you
right
go,
there?
at least 10.
well, okay, if you include traffic, everything, this is going from Memphis to Little Rock, and then taking 59 all the way down into Houston. The alternate route, which would be 9 hours and 54 minutes, is if you went from Memphis and went down to Jackson, Mississippi, all the way to
Yeah,
Baton Rouge, Lafayette, Beaumont, Texas, and then to Houston.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's the route most people take. I would say I
Yeah.
feel like it'd be 10 hours
That's the
minimum.
Well,
scenic route.
954. So yeah, 954. So yeah, pretty much 10 hours.
Yeah. Um, but no, there was something else wrestling wise. Can't remember what it was. It'll come to me, maybe. But I guess we can move on to some of the key lowlights of the draft because I mean, it was not that good. The
Well,
NFL draft. NFL draft, I mean.
yeah, it was the first time that it was the longest drought without a defensive player being picked up. The first 14 picks were offensive players, the longest streak of offensive players being taken in a draft. They didn't pick a defensive player didn't get picked until pick 15 when the Indianapolis Colts took
Latu Latu.
that guy. But I mean, and there was like 6 quarterbacks taken in the first round, which is also a draft record. But
so I
yeah,
mean,
there was like 4 in the first.
no, it was 6 in the first round. There
Oh
were
yeah,
6,
6. Yeah.
6 quarterbacks taken in the first round. There was 13 total quarterbacks that were selected.
I didn't even know there was that many quarterbacks that were worth drafting.
No, I was actually
I
looking
didn't
it
even know
up.
there was that many quarterbacks that were coming out of college.
Here's the thing: like they did the first round happens, and they elected 6 quarterbacks. A quarterback was not selected again until the 5th round when the Saints picked up Spencer Rattler out of South Carolina. So it went from like the last quarterback that was picked was Bo Nix at
Bo
12
Nix.
to the Broncos. And then it wasn't until the 5th round when they picked up Shane Rattler from South Carolina. The
Spencer Rattler.
Saints, Spencer Rattler, I'm sorry. The Saints picked up Spencer Rattler from South Carolina. But yeah,
So I'm going to talk about it first. The number 1 pick being Caleb Williams. I feel
Bust.
yes, not even I don't want to say buzz because I feel when he goes to another team he'll start picking up. But the Bears picked like absolute garbage. They still do not want to win.
nope.
Why? They picked a quarterback and a wide receiver instead of the offensive linemen that were available to protect your quarterback.
Yes.
Like,
Yes.
they don't seem to understand you need to have a line to make sure you can pass and run the ball.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know who the hell made these stupid decisions. Oh, we got to get Caleb Williams so we can get people to come to our game. Nobody's going to come to your games because nobody's going to give a shit because you can't throw the ball. Like, I still
Hey,
understand what their thought processes are.
and
I feel
go ahead, Chip.
like I was just saying, I feel like Caleb Williams is going to have the exact same trajectory that Justin Fields had, where he'll be able to throw the ball a little bit, but it's going to be snap, run, snap, run, snap, run, because they have no offensive line to protect from these big boy defensive players that are like hauling ass towards you.
The
So,
Chicago Bears had 5 total picks in this draft. They obviously Caleb Williams and Romeo Dunze from Washington, wide receiver. They picked up an offensive tackle in the 3rd round, which was Kyrian Amagdalaja. I want to say that's how it's pronounced. Amagdalaja, yeah. And
from
that was in the 3rd round.
Yale.
From Yale.
From Yale. Who are they protecting?
And then they drafted a punter, and then they drafted Austin Booker.
The fact that they picked a punter in the
4th round.
Get what in the 4th round?
In the 4th round.
Is this kid Pat McAfee 2.0?
Fuck if I know, bro.
But they had 2 picks in the first. I'm sorry, there's no point of picking a receiver if you're not going to pick a line. Here's my thing. Are they going to do no? Because even the Chargers picked an offensive lineman when they picked Justin Herbert. So
because they got Jim Harbaugh and he's going to pretty much
or even when the year they drafted Justin Herbert, they drafted offensive linemen.
Yeah,
to protect him. Like they're doing it like Cincinnati. I'm going to pick my quarterback and my receiver, and I'm going to risk my quarterback that first year. And the next year, I want to pick offensive linemen, and hopefully they can go to the Super Bowl. Yeah. But guess what? You're not going to go to the Super Bowl because you ain't going to beat the Lions, and you ain't going to beat the Packers. So
I think, but
definitely are not beating the Lions.
No, but see, I think a lot of the picks, though, they were the quote unquote sexy picks. Like we got Caleb Williams, hey, we got Jaden Daniels, hey, we got Drake May. Now, granted, the Commanders and the Patriots definitely needed a quarterback. I think Arizona picked up a good, they needed offensive line help too, but they got Marvin Harrison Jr., which I think will do some good for Kyler Murray. But the Tennessee Titans at number 7 picking J.C. Latham, who was the best, I'd say the second best offensive tackle in the draft because everyone said Joe Alt's going to be the next Joe Thomas, apparently. we'll see how his career. But then after
I
that,
mean, he's got Harbaugh teaching him, so
exactly. And plus
so
he's gonna be there with on the same line with Rashad Slater and a lot of other good, he's gonna have help. But then you get to number 8 and you get to the Atlanta Falcons. And the
and the
Atlanta Falcons,
biggest what the F moment.
they take Michael Penix Jr. at the number 8 spot. Here's the thing. I figured if there was any team who needed defensive help, the Atlanta Falcons would be it. I mean, because literally what we talk about, a defensive player was not taken until the 15th pick. You had Leatu Latu, you had Byron Murphy the second, you had Dallas. I honestly thought Dallas Turner was going to be the perfect fit for Atlanta at this spot. And then they go with Michael Penix Jr.
And it makes no sense because you just gave Kirk Cousins this huge contract with 90 million guaranteed, and his contract and Michael Penix's contract are going to end the same year.
Exactly.
Unless you are just going to pay Kirk Cousins to sit down, and I'm not paying you 90 million to sit on my damn bench.
Exactly.
Nope.
And not only that, when we first talked about within each other, when Kirk Cousins went to Atlanta, we're like, oh, that's going to work. That's going to be good. They're going to have veteran presence. He's going to be able to help these other young guys, whatever.
If he can stay healthy.
If he can stay healthy. So my thought was, oh, this is when they're going to bolster their line, like you were talking about, defensively. Because, yes, they need defensive help. You got Kirk Cousins. He's going to make plays no matter what. And you got the weapons around him. Cool.
Exactly.
He's going to know how to defend himself. He'll know when to be able to audible to a rush or something like that, even better. Switch it up. All right, time to build our defense. The fuck are you doing? Like, Atlanta, why do you not want to win?
At first, I was thinking, like, are they using him for trade bait? Because you don't draft like
90 million guaranteed.
No, I'm not talking about. I'm not talking about Kirk Cousins.
Oh,
Michael Penix Jr. Like, did they draft him? I found it so hilarious. Hang on. I found it so hilarious because there's a picture, or I'm sorry, there's a video of Arthur Blank talking to the general manager. I can't remember the general manager's name of the Falcons, but Arthur Blank has this look on his face like, I want to fucking kill you. What are you doing? We just paid a quarterback $140 million for 4 years. Why are we drafting a quarterback? If you wanted a quarterback, we could have picked up one in the 6th, 7th round. Like, I don't know.
I don't know.
Chip, what is your thoughts, man?
That was probably the biggest. It literally was, in my opinion, the biggest what the fuck moment from the NFL draft.
No. Oh, yes and no. Yes. But go ahead.
Well, what's yours?
Hold on.
Go ahead, Chip.
Because for all the reasons that you guys said, it's like, why? Like, you just signed Kirk Cousins 4 years, $180 million. $90 million of that is guaranteed, right?
And 50% you get the moment you put your name on the contract.
So where is Penix? We know he's not the starter because you're not going to pay this guy $90 million to not be the starter unless he's injured, right? Now, we do know that Kirk Cousins is coming off an Achilles tear, so maybe he won't be ready. I think he will be, but maybe he won't be ready by season opener. I think he will be, but maybe they just needed that reassurance. But then what? Kirk Cousins is healthy. He's the starter. Okay, so you got a young guy who is going to learn from Kirk Cousins. That's a good guy to learn from, except for the fact that Kirk Cousins you signed for 4 years. Michael Penix, you have 4 years on his rookie deal with a 5th-year option. I'll give him that 5th-year option. But by the time Kirk Cousins moves on, you've got to pay this kid.
Yep.
And not only that, what if he doesn't get any experience?
Yeah.
You
And I,
Then you've
just
still technically got a rookie. They'll probably draft a quarterback again in 2 years to sit behind Michael Penix Jr. And it's just like this
it's a cycle of
revolving
stupidity.
rotation of yes,
yeah,
it's a revolving rotation of stupidity. Uh
yes.
so but yeah.
But
Uh what was your biggest WTF, Roger?
the Vikings trading up one pick to get JJ McCarty.
You think that was worse than the Michael Penix pick?
I think it was another stupid. Why would they trade up one spot to get a quarterback they knew they were going to get?
Maybe. I mean, this just might be,
But they traded with the
theory, but
Jets, right?
Yeah.
yeah.
And
I mean, the
yeah,
Jet. Well, the Jets did just trade Zach Wilson to the Broncos.
Yeah,
So
okay,
but they
maybe in
but
their mind they think, hey, let's get a backup for Aaron Rodgers, like it never happened before already. Um,
but
you
but like
know,
my thing is like the Jets are banking on Aaron Rodgers because we knew they were going to pick offensive linemen, and when they did,
yeah.
yeah.
so like, why did you give up draft capital for that?
Was it really giving up draft capital? Or did they just switch the picks around?
I
No,
think they
it was the
got.
picks and it was swap picks, and I think they gave up a couple of picks next year,
Let me
Yeah. Look at that trade real quick.
like maybe some late rounders next year.
double check to see what it was. I don't know if it's going to tell me exactly what it was.
Actually, hang on, I can.
So they gave up draft picks to the Jaguars when they moved up to number 17. They gave away the 23rd pick, 167 of this year, and then a third and a fifth or fourth for next year. What they gave up for? Come on, tell me
Did
what they
they?
gave up for this one.
What if they didn't give anything up and they just decided, hey, can we take your spot?
They gave up number 11, a fourth rounder, a fifth rounder, um, and then they gave up a first, fourth, and fifth rounder to get number 10 to go up one spot, and then a seventh round pick.
What the? Why would you? What?
That's why I said this might have been my like. It's not bad as
Mm.
Michael Penix Jr., but it was really a why to go up one spot. You give up 3 picks to get 2 in return to go up one spot.
That makes no
Yeah,
sense.
yeah, that
Especially
makes no sense.
because the Jets were going to be right there. They were going to take Fashanu anyway. Like, I mean, but let's get to number 12. The Broncos taking Bo Nix. Roger, this is your team. How do you ultimately feel about Bo Nix coming to
I was
Denver?
happy about it. Well, like I think we talked about it beforehand. It's like a couple years ago, everybody was talking about Bo Nix being the best quarterback in college, and then all of a sudden we hush and lips and talk about Caleb Williams.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Bo Nix was still winning with Oregon.
Yeah, he was.
So
Yep.
everybody's like, "Oh, he's too old now. He wasn't
Yeah.
too old 2 years ago when y'all were praising him."
But let me
So-
ask you. But let me ask you a question. Does Bo Nix start immediately, or does he sit behind Zach Wilson?
He starts immediately.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, they're
Okay.
gonna have they're gonna have the preseason battle.
The quarterback competition.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Excuse me.
those
We
of
know.
us that are actual football guys, we know that Bo Nix is a better quarterback than Zach Wilson. I mean, Zach Wilson's not terrible, but he's not good. Like, he's a serviceable backup, which is what he'll be in Denver.
So
I don't know. Maybe the change of scenery from New York to Denver might, I guess, maybe give him back his confidence that he had when he got drafted, I guess. But we'll have to see what happens. I mean,
he's a new Chad Henne.
mm,
But so Bo Nix broke the NCAA single season record for completion percentage at 77.4. Led the FBS in total touchdowns, 45 passing touchdowns with 6 rushing touchdowns last year. He also only threw 3 interceptions all season.
wait, whoa. Run that back by me again. How many touchdowns?
45 passing touchdowns, 3 interceptions. 77.4
Dude, that's some
completion
NFL
rating.
quarterbacks that don't even have a.
So, like I said, what was the shitting on Bo Nix all of a sudden? I'm not talking about him. Like he's a bum. Yeah, he's a little bit older. Congratulations. dude is going to be a solid fit immediately going right into the NFL.
Oh, wait,
Unless he
time out. Wait,
somehow
wait, wait,
just can't compete.
wait, time out. Wait, they were talking about Bo Nix because he was older? I'm sorry, isn't Michael Penix Jr. 23 years old and he's gonna by the time his rookie contract's up, he's gonna be 28?
I think Bo
Like,
Nix is
if
older
they
than that.
is Bo Nix older than 23?
He's
Yeah, he's
24. Yeah,
24. Okay.
yeah.
All right.
But that's because he had that
One
extra
year.
a fifth
Okay.
year. Yeah. But my thing is, like,
The
everybody
COVID year.
The
everybody
COVID
talked
year,
about
yeah.
him in 2022 being so great. 2023, he had an amazing season, but we don't talk about him.
Nope.
Nope.
Like
All we talk about is Caleb Williams.
Caleb Williams and Jaden Daniels, which Jaden Daniels deserves it because that dude had an amazing season as well too.
Well,
He had yeah.
2023, the season was verbally dominated by three quarterbacks.
Caleb Williams.
Caleb Williams, Jaden Daniels, and Michael Penix Jr.
Yep.
Yeah.
Which makes Washington a great everything. People slept on Drake May.
Yeah,
we
they
did
did
because we knew he was going to go high because we thought he already looked like he was going to be a pro QB.
Mm-hmm.
Yet again, we're not there. We're not experts. We're not on the team. We don't know how he's actually going to do until we see him perform. We didn't go to the combine to see him perform. We didn't go to the pro day to see him perform. But Drake May was already given good decision making ability, good play reading ability.
Yeah.
That's the most important thing.
People's knock on Drake May was the fact that he played in the ACC, and the ACC is quote unquote not good competition. That was the knock that they had against Drake May.
Clemson dominated people for years, and they were.
Thank you. I'm glad somebody brought up the Clemson angle.
Didn't Deshaun Watson, contrary to what he did off the field, didn't he play in the ACC? And everybody was touting that kid when he came
Trevor Lawrence.
Trevor Lawrence played the ACC as well.
And here's the thing: when Jameis Winston was at Florida State, dude was a monster.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But yet again, we don't want to. We can always talk about the SEC or the Pac-12. Pac-12 apparently now, even the Big Ten they talked about, and they just won the freaking championship. So I don't get the experts. I don't get what they're experts about.
I don't get it either. But let's move on from that. Excuse me. The
next pick was
Las Vegas Raiders. Brock Bowers took Brock Bowers from Georgia goes to Raiders, the tight end.
I was going to talk about your pick at 21. Was the next pick?
My pick at I was just going to go through the. I don't want to talk about my pick.
Do you like your pick?
I don't.
I think it was a good pick. Yeah, I think it was a good pick.
Explain why you don't like your pick.
Because yes, we needed defensive line help. But I mean, God, because Leati Latu was already gone, Byron Murphy was already gone, Dallas Turner was already gone, Jared Verse was already gone. Like, I honest to God thought we were going to get Jared Verse. Like, that's who I thought we were going to get. And I was praying that Dallas Turner slipped a little bit lower. Let me rephrase. I'm not going to say I hate it, but I mean, if we look like Chop Robinson, I think he'll be okay, but like, we also need secondary help. I was thinking we were going to get Teron Arnold out of Alabama. Let me go through here. Darius Robinson out of Missouri. I thought we were going to end up getting him. Tavondre Sweat out of Texas. I thought he would have been a good addition. Jazan Newton from Illinois. I thought he could have been a good one. Let me rephrase. I don't hate it. I'm skeptical of it, if that makes sense.
I'm not, because dude he's a little undersized, 6'3", 254. Little undersized for an edge rusher, but he also has to play technically the linebacker position here and there. Dude has great speed. He had the second fastest 40 for a line defensive lineman.
4.48.
He's going to be able to keep up with interior tight ends, and that's really something you guys would give up a lot here and there, was that interior slot air section.
Yeah.
So him being able to just do the bump and go sometimes here and there,
yeah,
I think he's going to be able to help you out in ways that you probably aren't thinking they actually drafted him for. Yeah, he's going to be able to rush he's fast, so he's going to be able to rush the quarterback and everything. Yeah. But I think it's because he's able to disrupt plays.
Maybe so. But See, they got him listed as an outside linebacker, edge rusher. That's what
Yeah.
they have him listed here. But we needed something more interior though, especially after losing Christian Wilkins, and I mean he could take that Andrew Van Gunkel spot, which I think would be good. But I mean, at the same time, we needed interior. Still don't know why we picked up two wide receivers. I get depth, but I mean, there was so many more needs that we needed for some of the other spots that
I mean, you guys got
I felt.
another running back.
Yeah, but I mean, Raheem, we got Raheem, we got uh, golly, we got Achan. Like, I mean, yeah, I mean, we're good at the wide. Our offense has never been. I've never had a problem with the offense other than like, get us some good guards, maybe pick up a center in the draft, and try to mold a better offensive line. But the defense has always been the Achilles heel for the Miami Dolphins, and it has been for the past several years. Even when Brian Flores was the coach, the Miami Dolphins have had the tendency to give up games later in the season. I mean, hell, there was one time we literally gave up. At one point during the Brian Flores era, we gave up the number one seed, and then we ended up getting out of the playoffs in like 6 games. I'm thinking, why? Um, but yeah, I mean, I'm gonna withhold judgment. Maybe I was a little bit irrational with it, but I'm gonna wait and see what happens with Chop Robinson. That's just me. We'll see what
Okay.
happens. What about you, Chip?
I mean, I think Chop is good. I I don't know that he's the best option at that number. I think there was a couple of better options, but I think he's going to be good for your team.
Oh, I mean, there were people saying that he could possibly be a bust, so that's what scares me.
I have heard that,
Eh,
but
like I said, he may be a little undersized, but so is I mean, Aiden Hutchinson is technically undersized too. So
Yeah.
undersized don't mean nothing no more.
And then
Um,
damn Detroit picks up Teron Arnold out of Alabama.
Detroit probably had the best draft out of anybody.
Detroit did have the best draft.
I think Detroit had a great draft. The Texans had a good
The
draft.
draft.
Yeah. Hell, sneakily Arizona had a good one too, picking up
Arizona did have a good draft here,
yeah.
but they had a shit ton of picks. So I mean,
Balt
they. You think Baltimore had a good one?
I'm just saying they had a good draft. I think Baltimore had a good pick with Nate Wiggins out of Clemson. How do y'all feel about this other one? This other thing kind of popped up. San Francisco picking Ricky Parcell out of Florida. Like, how did you feel about that? Knowing that they probably needed some offensive line help, and they ended up going with a wideout at this spot.
Because they may not get Brendan Ayuk back.
They'll, yeah, but I mean, I don't know. And then Carolina sneaks into the first round and takes Xavier.
Worthy.
No, 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 no,
No,
no, no, no, no. Kansas City took Xavier Worthy.
yeah, Xavier
Leggett,
Leggett.
Le,
Yeah.
Leg,
Leggett,
Uh,
yeah.
Hold
Leggett.
on. So before we talk about the Texans' first pick in the draft, I have a question for you guys.
Go ahead.
What the hell is Buffalo doing?
What do you mean?
So they need receiver help. They swapped with who was it?
Carolina.
No, they swapped before that. They swapped with Kansas City. Kansas City took
Oh yeah,
Xavier
Kansas.
Worthy. Did
Yeah.
they move
Okay.
back? Then they swapped with Carolina and they missed out on two receivers right there.
Yep.
And then like took nobody.
No. Keon Coleman out of Florida
Keon
State.
Coleman because he's tall for receiver.
Yeah, it's just weird.
I think it's actually a really good pick for them. They did pick up Curtis Samuel and Flip. Let me look. Curtis Samuel
Mac
and
Hollins.
Matt Collins, which will be slot guys for you. So they needed a big outside guy. So I don't know. The dude ran a 4.6 40, so not super fast, but he has an explosive 10-yard split, and he's also tall. He has a good verticality. I think it's going to work for how shoot. Jared Allen. I almost forgot his name. Um, Josh Allen can throw.
I'll
I
say
was like,
Jared Allen.
yeah, that's what I was saying. Like I said, crap, I forgot his name. It was like Jared Allen. I was like, no, but Josh Allen. That's how he throws. He's gonna be able to actually throw to somebody outside who wants to go up and catch the ball on like Stephon Diggs. But yeah, no, I think they were actually solid overall. I did not like them picking up Ray Davis in the fourth from Kentucky. The running back.
Yeah.
I feel like that was just a desperation pick, more of like a filler pick instead of just them actually going for needs. I feel like they could have gone for more uh, secondary help. I was about to say defensive back help, but they need more help at the safety. Yeah, they got Cole Bishop, but you might want to have somebody else there just in case too.
Well, I mean, Dwayne Carter out of Duke to Buffalo, I think would be a good addition to him. And yeah, I mean, they obviously need to get more help on their defensive line, especially with a lot of the departures that they've had. But I mean, yeah, I mean, you got rid of Gabe Davis and Stephon Diggs, and now you're basically retooling. It's going to be a completely new quarterback room in Buffalo. Oh, I'm sorry, a completely new wide receiver room in Buffalo now. So, you know, you're gonna have to get in a lot of off-season reps to be able to get this team prepared because okay, I'm just going to ask this question real quick. Is the playoff ceiling for the Buffalo Bills done?
No.
No, not as long as they have Josh Allen healthy.
Okay.
That man literally sacrifices to win.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
sacrifices his whole body to win.
Yeah.
Um,
I agree to that. It's just because I
He,
mean, go ahead.
to me, he is a more talented Ben Roethlisberger. Where Ben would run people over and take the hits and do anything and everything possible to win a game. Jared, here
Josh,
you
There
go.
you
yeah,
go and do the
I know,
same
I
thing.
got you, I got you, I got you.
Josh Allen does the exact same thing, but I think he's more talented. He can place the ball better than Ben could. He's faster than Ben was. Like,
Oh yeah.
so that would be my comparison there.
I think I have a better comparison than Ben Roethlisberger, and people think it's weird.
If you
With
say Michael Vick, I'm gonna boot you out of the room.
Okay. No, I wasn't even gonna say Michael Vick. That was the last person on my mind. No, I was thinking Steve McNair, just because the way he's built. Steve McNair could run. He had the ability to run you over if he could, and he
I,
he wasn't afraid to take chances. But now
so
Allen's
personally, I think
faster a little
no,
bit.
personally, I think Steve McNair was more talented than Josh Allen.
Okay. Oh, I mean, yeah, I mean McNair was amazing.
I mean, I'm sure I'll get from the Bills Mafia. They're gonna roast me for that one. But
They roast their own players. It don't matter.
um, I'm trying to think. Um, so before we get to Houston, I thought a very sleepy pick that everybody over or isn't talking about or anything is the Colts third round pick of Matt Goncalves from
mhm.
the offensive tackle from Pittsburgh. Dude played half his games at left tackle and the other half at right tackle, so he can move on either side.
Yeah.
6'6", 327.
Whew. Yeah.
So
Good
he's gonna
luck.
be he's gonna be a good guy to move around and protect you on both sides. Um,
That's
he's
good
also
though. It's good to be that he can be placed anywhere that he
yeah,
needs to be.
he's also good with his hands. They always talk about
Mhm.
hand movements and stuff like that for offensive tackles and how they can place them really quick and everything. So apparently he's got a really good I guess mind for that. I mean, I know it matters a lot for offensive linemen because you have to know exactly where to hit somebody to throw them off balance and everything. I just don't know what they mean by that because I ain't playing no lineman. So, um, but no, I think that was actually a super sleep pick right there. People didn't really talk about it, but I methink that's going to give Richardson some time to actually sit there.
Yeah.
Mhm. Well,
Or
and the
Garner
fact
Minshew,
that
whoever starts.
I think it'll be Richardson.
Yeah.
Yeah, it will be. I
Didn't
was
Gardner
I
Minshew
was
go
just
on? Didn't Gardner Minshew go to Vegas?
oh wait, yeah, he did go to Vegas. That's right. I'm sorry.
Yeah. I was
My
like,
bad. I don't know why I thought he was still
that man going from Florida to Indianapolis to Vegas.
Yep.
oh, a boy can dream. All right. But yeah, let's get to the Houston Texans draft. And Chip, how did you feel like they did overall?
Overall, I thought they had a really good draft. They drafted for need, but they
Yes,
drafted the best player available at their need. So with the first pick that they had, which was number 42 in the second round, because they traded away their first round pick, they got Kamari Lassiter, the cornerback out of Georgia.
he's good,
Mm-hmm.
dude. He's
Who
Mm-hmm.
good.
just last season he was a second team All SEC. He finished with 8 pass breakups, uh, like 5 interceptions, um, and he has amazing cover skills. Um, so what I like about this pick is they didn't overextend and try to trade around to get anywhere that they didn't need to be. But also, this kid could be a day one starter. So on one side, you have Derek Stingley Jr., who is a proven lockdown corner.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah,
we let Steven Nelson walk in free agency, but we signed 2 former top 10 picks in Jeff Okuda and CJ Henderson.
yeah,
But we only signed them each to a 1 year deal, right?
Mm-hmm.
So um, he's coming in, by he I mean Kamari. He's coming in and will be challenging for a starting position. And if not the starter this year, I think next year he'll definitely be the starter. He's going to be, a versatile piece in this team.
Yeah.
Uh,
Um, I saw experts say the biggest knock on him is that he only had one interception at Georgia. So what? People don't throw to him.
when you lighten people up every time you get near him, yeah,
If
because
here's the thing,
he reminds me, and people might say I'm crazy for thinking this. He reminds me of Sheldon Brown with his intensity in the way that he plays in the way that he plays the game. He's not a ball hawk, but he can make the play when he has to. But he will put you on your ass if you fuck around and find out, if you will.
you know what he is? He's a classic grinder.
There you go.
He's not
Perfect
gonna make
example.
big, he's not gonna make huge plays, but he's gonna wear your receiver out.
The
He's gonna make a
cornerbacks,
receiver fight for it.
yeah, the cornerbacks in this draft, though, probably some of the better cornerbacks that have come out in a while. You know, Teron Arnold, going to Detroit. I think Detroit picked up a damn good one
That
there.
was probably the best. Like that was a
Yeah,
smart trade up.
yeah, very much a smart trade up. And I know Quinyon Mitchell out of Toledo. Everybody, he was the first corner that was taken, and I honestly thought that Philly was going to take Arnold at that point. I was like, we'll see what happens. But yeah, but I mean, Nate Wiggins going to Baltimore, I think was a really
Mm.
good pickup. Then you had 4 corners back to back. Cooper DeJean, Kool-Aid McKinstry, who I honestly thought he was going to be a first round pick. I don't know why he slipped so far to the second. Which I mean,
because you had 14 offensive players picked, so
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
yeah.
you
Yeah,
had better defensive players that came before him.
that
Which I
That's
know.
why.
Which if I was a GM, I would be so damn happy if I had an early second round, late first round, early second round. Because hey, y'all made it
yeah.
easy for me.
That's what I was telling Chad because we were talking in the group text, and I was like, "Hey man, let them all drop because the more offensive players get taken, the less defensive players get taken, and by God, we're gonna get one of them at least, you
Hmm.
know." And yeah, and then of course Lassiter going to the Texans, and then Max Milton out of Rutgers ends up going to Arizona again. Arizona sneakily had a good draft, I thought.
They still don't
Yeah,
have a good quarterback, though.
no, not yet. Um,
I
But
bet you don't piss Chad off now. He gonna send you
uh,
a mean text message here in a minute whenever
it,
he hears
it's
this.
it's fine. But with our second pick in the draft, we picked up offensive tackle Blake Fisher, which I also thought was a really good pickup. Yes, we got Laramie Tunzel on one side and Titus Howard on the other. They are the starters. They're certified legit starters. But what we needed was depth, right? So both uh Tunzel and Howard missed games last season due to injury. Uh and we just didn't have the proper people to fill in for them. Now we're starting to get those pieces because not only did we draft Blake Fisher, but we signed Charlie Heck, David Sharp, and Jalen Thomas all to 1 year deals to fill in that depth. So I thought that was another good pick. Then we go to the third round and we pick up a safety, Kalen Bullock from USC, who, if you guys have not seen the tape on this kid,
Oh,
go
he's
watch
good.
it. He is a ball hawk.
Yep.
9 interceptions. Um, I don't think he will be the starter because we have Jalen Petrie, 100% starter, but we also still have Jimmy Ward. Jimmy Ward is getting a little up there in age. He'll be 33 this year, and this is also the last year of his deal. Um, so he is going to be more of a mentor. Um, but I think the Kalen Bullock is a good pickup here. Then we move to what is probably my favorite pick in for the Texans in this draft period. We picked up Ohio State tight end Cade Stover, um, who already has a rapport with CJ Stroud. Um, he has just quick stats. Uh, he has over 1,000 yards, 10 touchdowns in his career. He was first team all Big Ten just last year. And yes, we did just sign Dalton Schultz to a 3-year extension, but you still got Cade Stover, who they're going to be moving around, piecing him here. They'll do a lot of two tight end sets here. He's great at run blocking. Uh, he's decent at pass blocking. Um, but I think Cade Stover is probably the steal for the Texans. Maybe not the steal of the draft, but he was a steal for the Texans because they again he's got the rapport with CJ. Um, he's a amazing tight end. Uh, so he will end up being the in my I think and everything can change in the blink of an eye, but I think he will be what Owen Daniels was to the early Texans moving forward.
Man, an Owen Daniels reference. Hell yeah.
Uh then moving on, we picked up Jamal Hill, linebacker out of Oregon. So just adding a little more depth. We picked him up with the 188th pick in the 6th round. Um, then the kind of shocker to me was picking up Jahar Jordan, the running back out of Louisville. We just picked up Joe Mixon and extended him. Um, we still have Damian Pierce on the roster, and he's likely going to be the backup. But this,
They're both very injury prone, and that's the reason why.
Yeah.
yeah, but Jordan, he's he's a good running back. Um, he he doesn't have the fastest speed, but what he lacks in speed, he picks up in shiftiness. Um,
So like
Being
so
loose.
Ahmad
Being
Bradshaw.
yeah.
yes, so he has the ability to cut and make a defender like slide by him and cut back onto the original route.
Yeah.
I was watching some tape of him earlier yesterday, as of this recording, um, and he's good, uh, but he's small. Um,
Um.
so
So real quick, Gerard Mayo is now the head coach of the Patriots, correct?
Yes.
Correct.
So did we notice his influence immediately in the draft?
Yes.
Yeah.
Got him a new quarterback, new
Yep.
receiver, new offensive tackle, new offensive guard, another wide receiver. And he also got Joe Milton in the 6th round from
Yeah.
Tennessee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, hey, he's like,
There's
I'm
something-
here to win.
There is something about ex players when they become head coaches. It's like it's almost like they have stuff to prove. Now, not every coach who was a former player has a lot of success, but you look at what D'Amico Ryans is doing. You look at what John Harbaugh was doing when he first got the job with Baltimore many, many years ago.
I mean, but he's still doing that.
Yeah.
That's beyond the point of what I'm trying to make. I'm just saying, when you
Okay.
look at Gerard Mayo, and you like what you said, Roger, you're already beginning to sell. I really think the Houston Texans broke the mold in a way, because I feel like, because D'Amico Ryan, everyone's like, okay, what's this going to be? Because we've had so many coaches. We had Lovie Smith. We had Chip. What was the name of the coach before Lovie Smith? David Culley.
The
Yeah,
old
David
dude.
Culley.
David Culley. Say what, Roger?
The old dude.
Yep, yeah, whatever his name was, and you've had coaches like Kubiak and all them, but when when D'Amico Ryans came in, it almost like the culture completely shifted, and it went from being this lackluster, could barely make, could barely even scrape up 4 or 5 wins, if that, and now they're a playoff team. Thank you, a perennial playoff team. So could that same thing happen in New England as well? Could we see a similar shift in culture, a similar shift in play style, a similar shift? Pretty much, are we going to see the Houston Texans but colder in New England this season?
First of all, that's the Dan Campbell effect.
Yeah.
I couldn't think of the name. Sue
But
me.
no, you're
Okay.
good. But I think it's actually the mentality of the player transcending to the mentality of a coach, a player coach. Like you said, there have been coaches who were former players. Some were okay, some worked out really. Like Harbaugh is probably the best example from previous era.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But we've had some in between then, so Harbaugh and the new generation of guys. Dan Campbell sort of being the start of that. Going to D'Amico, and now Gerard Mayo, sort of being like, hey, I'm going to shift the culture. It's the 76ers mentality of trust the process, but actually working this time.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
They're like, trust the process. I'm here to change the culture first, then we're going to make an impact. Dan Campbell did it in a year and a half, pretty much.
Pretty
He was
much, yeah.
given a garbage team, made it work when he got Jared Goff, and everybody's like, "Oh, just he got lucky, lucky ass." Like,
No.
that's the best we've seen Detroit be. But then D'Amico's the same way. He has this mentality of changing the culture first, trusting the process.
Mhm.
Immensely great impact the first year,
And him
I
picking
feel
the
like-
right players did it too.
yeah. And I think the front office pretty much doing what Gerard Mayo wanted. I'm not saying that he got to pick all his guys or whatever, but him sort of being like, "Hey, I think this will work, this will work, this will work. Like, I think these will be the pieces that we need." Be like, "All right, we're gonna give you that chance." We just need to see what the culture he brings in is going to be.
Yeah. I mean, we already seen what he's done so far. He already shipped Mac Jones off to Jacksonville, So, I mean, now he's got his quarterback in Drake May. We'll see what happens there.
Well, he has two. He has Joe Milton also.
Joe Milton also, right?
Hey,
Exactly.
Drake May,
So,
you mess up, man. You gone.
hey, exactly, exactly. What are your thoughts on it, Chip?
Well, like Roger was saying, you have players, former players, or even former coaches who have spent time with a particular coach, and I'll just use Bill Belichick as an example. Yeah, where you have a coach that was under them, under that tree, and they go to a new team and they try to implement the exact same thing, that Bill Belichick was doing. And it doesn't always work out because they're going into a team where the culture of that team is terrible because the previous head coach left it in it just left it in shambles,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Um, for example, when David Culley took over for Bill O'Brien, and I know Romeo Crennel was in there in that middle, but he was just an interim. He was never actually the head coach.
Right.
Um, he just filled in when they fired Bill Belichick. But David Culley came in and he didn't change the culture. He just changed some players.
Mhm.
Lovey Smith came in after David Culley got fired. Lovey Smith came in. He didn't change the culture. He changed players.
Hmm.
But then D'Amico Ryan comes in. He changes the entire culture of the the whole organization,
Yeah.
not just the team, but upper management, people in the office, all the way up to Cal McNair.
Yeah.
He changed the culture from the top down with his infectious smile, his upbeat attitude, and everything. Dan Campbell did it in Detroit. He changed the culture from the top down uh, because they trusted his process,
Yeah.
right?
Exactly.
But you have other coaches, and I'll use. Let me think of a name real quick. Um, Former Titans head coach,
Mike Vrabel.
Vrabel.
Mike Ver, okay, who he came in, he didn't change the culture, he changed pieces of it, and it ended up falling apart. He started off really good, but there in the middle and definitely towards the end, that culture started falling apart because he wanted to implement even more of the Bill Belichick system. He wanted to be the head coach and the GM and do it all.
Hmm.
And we've learned there's only been one coach that has ever worked for, and that was Bill Belichick.
Yeah.
Um, and the only reason that I think that worked so well for him is because of Tom Brady.
Yep.
Because
Yeah.
Tom Brady allowed them to win. So the front office, the owners, they were like, "Oh well, they're winning. We'll give them what they want." But when you look at these other teams, where you have Bill O'Brien with the Texans, tried to do the exact same thing, head coach, GM, that fell apart. Vrabel in Tennessee, head coach, GM, that fell apart. It doesn't work that way. Everybody has to be on the same page, and you have to have a distinct GM, a distinct head coach. Like you can't, and this is just my opinion, but you can't have the same person splitting, 2 to 3 major responsible duties because something always starts to falter.
Yep. I mean,
So
yeah, I mean, Bill O'Brien was a classic case of it. He was GM and head coach. And then this when you see, oh, I'm gonna trade D Hop to Arizona for a third string running back who's on his last legs. Like, oh, I'm upset with Dwayne Brown. I'm gonna trade him. But wait, but then he ends up having to trade with somebody else just so he can get another draft pick to get a lineman. And it's like, dude, you could have just paid the man. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, Bill O'Brien. That's probably would Bill O'Brien be the worst example of Coach GM?
yes,
Yes.
Okay.
but
Uh,
like we always say, wrestlers can't be bookers, and it's the same thing. Coaches can't be GMs.
yeah.
Um, it doesn't work because you can't separate emotion from business.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anytime an active wrestler is involved in the process of management or creative, you might as well throw objectivity out the window. Now, there are very few people who have the ability to separate, but most of the time, those guys don't even wrestle on their own show. You know, um, I think when Chip ran EWA, I think he wrestled like when he was full time, like completely, um, you know, taking over the control and doing stuff. I think Chip, you wrestled. I think the last year of EWA's existence, you wrestled once, maybe twice,
I tried not
something
to
like that.
wrestle ever unless somebody just didn't show up.
I think that was it then. I think you did the gimmick with you did the gimmick with Warren, and then one more thing for Johnny. I think it was only two matches you had that year. I think, but that was but again, I mean, yeah, I mean, if you find that balance, then that's great. But then there's the guys who want to book the show, and then the guys that book the show want to be on the posters, and they want to be the champion, and they're going to bring in the big name, and I'm going to wrestle this guy because all of you are underneath me. There are guys like that in the business, and they don't last long at all.
Roger, you were trying to say something?
It left my mind.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
No, it's all right. Yeah, it left my mind. I don't even remember what I was going to say about
The last thing you said was that's why wrestlers shouldn't be
to be
bookers.
bookers. Yeah.
And we were talking about Bill O'Brien.
I said that you can't have your emotions. You can't be GM and head coach because you let your emotions take over whatever in separate business. Bill O'Brien was, like we said, the worst example of it happening. But no, there was something else I was saying. I completely lost it. Um, yeah, it's all right. It's all right. But no, I feel overall the draft there was some teams did the right thing. Some picked the best of the situation they could pick. May not always be the right pick for them, but whatever. And some teams shit the bed.
Most
Like
teams shit the bed.
yeah, most teams. But no, I don't know if why this draft specifically. There was such emphasis on all these offensive players having to go so high when I mean the first round, a lot of these teams they didn't really need an offensive player to start it out. I mean, the Bears made themselves draft a quarterback because they refused to help their current quarterback out. A
Yep.
guy who was literally breaking his body out to get you 3 or 4 wins. Yeah, actually,
Mm-hmm.
how much they got? What 6 wins, 7 wins?
7, I think.
Yeah,
Oh, let me look it up real quick. I think
with
it was
with
7 and
no
10.
with no offensive line whatsoever and really no offensive weapons. But then they're like, okay, we're going to draft this guy and we're going to give him weapons out of nowhere, but still not give him an offensive line. Um, but Cardinals picking Marvin Harrison Jr. Yeah, you need a receiver to sort of start being your number one, but you also need a quarterback that's going to play and be there for you instead of going to the new season pass of Call of Duty.
7 and
Uh,
10. 7 and 10.
yeah. Um, the the Giants don't know what they're doing. Really don't know what they're doing. They didn't pick any of their needs whatsoever. No offensive line help, no defensive line help, no defensive back help, no
They
receiver
got
help.
they
Well, they
got
got a
Malik
receiver.
they got
They got a
Malik
receiver.
Neighbors.
Yeah, one receiver.
One
They ain't got
receiver.
no. They got one receiver. They ain't got any other receivers. So I'm like, y'all didn't do anything whatsoever. Atlanta being Atlanta, that's all that can be said. Um, Other than that, I mean, the Steelers picked for their needs, which was good. The Rams picked for their needs. I don't even know what the Bengals are doing. They got one need and then nothing. Um, Congrats. I don't know. Like a lot of these guys just dropped the ball for no reason. Um, but yeah. But no, that's
Uh,
it for us. Just go ahead.
well, hold on. One more thing. I do want to send my thoughts and prayers out to Tank Dell. Apparently, over the
Yes.
Oh yeah.
weekend,
Oh yeah.
yeah,
Minor shooting.
he was involved in a shooting. He has been released from the hospital, and the Texans organization say that he is in good spirits. So, you know,
Yeah.
I do want to personally give my
Yeah.
thoughts and prayers out to him.
Yeah. And for people who are wondering, no, he was not involved with the shooting, as in he was the pursuer or the pursuee. He was basically an innocent bystander. And it was a situation of wrong place, wrong time. But yeah, definitely, man. Prayers to Tank Dale. Hopefully, they did say he would recover pretty quickly. I'm
Yeah.
assuming they said it was a minor wound, but still, I mean, I've never been shot before. I hope I never get shot, but I can imagine it. It don't feel good.
Yeah. So,
At least he didn't
all
cheddar
right.
bob himself.
No.
Cheddar Bob.
Yeah, Plexico Burris, cheddar bob
Oh,
Burris,
what plexiglass cheddar
plexiglass. Yeah.
Bob. There we go.
But no, that was our that's our weeks. The I mean, I want to go real quick into the NBA playoffs. Real
Yeah,
quick.
go ahead.
Good.
Are you guys aren't watching the NBA playoffs or
I'm keeping
No.
up with it.
okay? So
No, the Rockets are out. I'm out.
so the Rudy Poo super team Suns got swept 4-0 by the
Mm-hmm.
Timberwolves.
Yep.
I'm super happy about that because yet again, Kevin Durant just proves that he's not a playoff player.
Nope.
And so that was the first series won. That's the only series that's swept. Everybody else at least won one game, but Kevin Durant can't win a game in the playoffs, so whatever. Um, the Knicks are one win away from taking out this Joel Embiid's garbage 76ers, Mr. Overrated himself.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, he's so bad that this dude literally did two plays to almost injure the two best players for the Knicks last night. He stepped on Josh Hart's leg
Yep.
incidentally and then elbowed Brunson while Brunson was cutting in without the ball. Why would you have your elbow out? Answer that one, Joel Embiid. Okay.
It,
What
hey,
about
it ain't stopped Brunson from putting up what he put up. I mean,
47 to 10.
hold on.
47 to 10.
What game was it where like he Embiid flopped and dude goes up for like a dunk or a rebound or something and he grabs his leg and jerks him down?
That was game 3, wasn't
That
it,
was
Roger?
game 2 or 3, yeah,
Game
something like
2.
that.
Well, which game?
Game,
Which game did he get hurt in?
game 2. So yeah,
Then it was game 2. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. The Clippers and Mavericks are probably having the best series. Kyrie Irving was trying to play his heart out.
Yeah. Yes.
He put up 40 points. Lucas had said it himself. Luca is injured right now. He's fighting a right knee injury, but he's still playing through it. Doesn't have the same step. Everybody can see it. He's trying to go through it. But he said himself he has to step up and help out Kyrie because that was not what was the word? He said that was unsatisfactory of him of how he played.
Yeah.
I still think he's the MVP. He's injured right now, so he's not able to play at his max. It's not an excuse. He's not making excuses. I'm not gonna make an excuse for him. That man's trying to play as best he can right now. The Clippers being a super team of 4 All-Stars, actually playing like 4 All-Stars on the team, finally. Bucks and Pacers. The Pacers are going to win that one. The Bucks are just injured. They're
Yep.
Giannis and Dame Lillard both are injured. There was this rumor going around that the disintegration of the Bucks was happening before that because Dame and Giannis couldn't get together. Here's the thing: they were doing fine when they had the old head coach, but now you get Doc Rivers, and those boys can't seem to get together anymore.
I said it was a bad idea the moment they let him go.
Yep,
I
me
was like,
too.
why the hell are you doing this?
But
I knew it was bad when you were 3-7 after your first 10 games with Doc. It's like,
yeah, after being like 13-1 with the
they were no. If I'm not mistaken, they were 17-3. They were 17-3.
but they were on a streak of like 13-1.
Yeah, there was 13. It was 13. Yeah, 13 wins in a row. Yeah,
Yeah.
But then fucking you signed Doc Rivers, and all of a sudden you're 3.
But
yeah, it's.
did I send you guys that trailer for the Netflix show or the FX show?
Yes.
Clipped. Yeah.
I was so thrown off by that. And I thought it was a joke at first, but I'm
I thought
excited.
it was a parody too. Yeah.
But for those who don't know, FX is making a docuseries or not a dramedy of the Lob City Clippers and what it went down with Sterling and Doc Rivers and anything like that, and their disintegration because that team, Lob City, should have won a championship if it wasn't for all the crap they literally had to go through during their time in that situation. Also meeting up with the Grinder Grizzlies, Marc Gasol and Debo. But but no, I'm actually super excited about that. And I don't know. It's weird that they have Lawrence Fisher playing Doc Rivers, but I can see it.
I can see it too.
I can see
Because that's when you sent the video. My first instant thought was like, "What kind of parody is this? Or what
I
is
thought it was
this?"
a parody too, but no, like FX is legitimately making this show, and I'm like, it's gonna be on Hulu only too. I'm like, oh hey,
There
there we
you go.
go. Um,
Yeah,
so moving on to the other series of the NBA. I'm trying to rush through this.
yeah.
Celtic and Heat. Celtics are up by 20 points right now in the fourth.
They closing
Uh,
out tonight.
no, they lost they lost game two without Jimmy Butler in the game. So I have
That's
no idea.
strange. Okay.
But yeah, so I think the Celtics still want to win that, but I feel bad for the Heat because Jimmy Butler is hurt.
Yeah.
So they don't have their best player on the team, and that dude makes such a major difference
Yeah.
overall. Um, the next one to get swept is going to be the Pelicans. They're going to lose to the Thunder, who
Mm-hmm.
by far is the best team right now.
Yeah.
Um, their coach got coach of the year as he should.
Yeah.
SGA may be the MVP
He
because of
do
these
he
performances.
if he's not the MVP, he's a damn close. He's damn close
He
to
should be
it.
number two. It should be Luca and then SGA. Jokic third. So the thing with Jokic is that we're so used to him being a triple double machine that if he doesn't get a triple double, he did bad, which
Yeah.
is weird.
It's just voter fatigue at that point, you know.
I mean, it is, but the dude's so good. This is
Yeah.
the issue. It's like when you're so
Do
good, it's hard to.
speaking of that, do they close out the Lakers tonight?
They will, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it was BS that they suddenly lost to the they suddenly lost to the Lakers after being 10-0 or 11-0 against the Lakers in recent history. It's
Yeah.
like, oh, but then all of a sudden you get all these random calls and whatnot. Blah, shut up, get out of here, refs.
Yeah.
But no,
Oh, I
most of the
think
West games will be done.
okay, yeah, most of the West games should be done. I think you kind of like I don't know if you glossed over it intentionally, but Cleveland and Orlando have been fighting it out, trying to make it because they're both two young teams,
I was
just
gonna
trying
talk
to
about
make
this.
it.
I was gonna talk about next because they play tomorrow, so technically.
Yeah, tomorrow at 8.
Um,
Yeah.
but they are two young teams, and the Magic have brought it back because they were losing 2-0. Um, Banchero really being the big difference maker. He
Yeah.
just passed. He either passed or tied Shaq's like playoff scoring, rebounding record or something like that in franchise history for the playoffs. But I think just consistent playing over and over again is going to show how the Magic's youth is going to not have the experience because the one thing the Cavs have that the Magic don't have is a veteran of Donovan Mitchell's ability.
Yes.
And I think Donovan Mitchell will definitely be such a key factor because of his experience being able to do stuff and being able to carry the Cavs the last couple years now. But no, I think that one's gonna be probably that's gonna be the best series on the West or the East. The best series on the West already happened. Unfortunately, it's the Thunder and Pelicans, and that's not even that close either. Or sorry,
No.
Clippers and Mavs. What am I talking about? That's definitely gonna be the one
Yeah.
on this. But no, overall, that's that happening on basketball playoffs. I know we have some fans that do listen to that, and also we're gonna go breeze through real quick through the NHL one.
Please don't.
Uh, we're gonna breeze through the NHL one.
We're down 3-1. So
My team's winning. I get to talk about it.
yeah,
My team's winning.
well fuck the Rangers. How about that?
Yeah, my team's winning. But no, the Avalanche are up 3-1 against the Jets. The Canucks are up 3-1 against the Predators. The Rangers beat the Capitals 4-0, so we're moving on. And you guys just lost to Edmonton to go down 3-1,
Yep.
which that was such a piss poor game, to be honest, yesterday.
Dude, I was more embarrassed for game 3, in my opinion, was the most embarrassing. We
Uh,
game 3 was bad, dude.
and then for the Lightning are actually going to lose to Panthers, which surprises me.
Now, it
But
doesn't mean it doesn't surprise me.
and
The Panthers have been coming for years now, dude. They are ready to take over, man. I'm
but
telling you, man.
Lightning, actually win Stanley Cup.
Hey, I'm just saying, man.
I know.
Right place, right time. Do you get hot at the right time, dude? You can come through and you can pull away, man.
But the Dallas Stars are going to lose to the Vegas Knights.
Yeah, of course.
Vegas is just such a monster of a team. What's surprising to me is Toronto Maple Leafs losing to the Bruins. I say surprising, but the Bruins are still a great team right now too. But the Maple Leafs not going to the second round is really going to be weird to me.
Yeah.
After that, we have the Canes beating the Islanders because fuck the Islanders. But I think it was every team that rushed through. Yeah, that was all of it. Um, like I said, my team got onto the second round already. Everybody else is still competing. So I'm okay. Give us a little bit of
who
rest.
who do you play the winner of?
Do you think the Hurricanes and Islanders?
Oh, okay.
I think. Let me double check. Because I really don't know right now. No, postseason.
Playoff bracket. I got it. Hold on. Looks like you guys are playing yeah, you're right. Hurricanes Islanders.
Okay, that's what I thought.
So
Because we were
chances
number
are
one.
you're probably playing Carolina.
Yeah, number two seed.
Yeah.
For that divisional area
Yeah.
because it's so weird how they break up their stuff. But no, that's all the playoffs going on. We talked about the NFL draft. When this garbage WWE draft is over, the only big move that's happened so far in Raw is Damage Control got moved over away from Bailey to Raw.
Well, and the LWO got moved to Raw
Oh.
away from Legato.
Yeah.
So now we're gonna get more Ray versus Dom
Yep.
that we don't want to see.
Which we don't want to see.
Yeah.
Why do
Literally
you keep
didn't
rehashing this shit?
literally didn't even finish the story of LWO versus Legato at all. We just had the revelation that Chip called that Carlito was the one that betrayed Dragon Lee, which shocker, Carlito betrayed somebody. Um,
Right.
but
Oh,
yeah,
and Shinsuke went to SmackDown, so yeah.
was Young Raw?
Oh,
Yeah, he was on Raw.
Let's
And
check out a
then we
little
still got
finish.
three more, and we still got three more rounds left of this particular
Gosh,
one.
Yep.
Raw is so
And then
long.
that doesn't like no NXT call ups have happened yet. If they are,
Well, they officially put Imperium, which isn't full Imperium, but they put them on Raw. So the only call up I can see happening is Dragunov. And I don't know what girl. JC Jane would be the only girl I can see going up to Raw.
yeah. Because I mean, I doubt
Um,
they're gonna move Cora Jade up because she's injured right now. She's probably not even she's probably not even eligible right now.
I also found out
But
that her and Braun Breaker broke up, and I didn't even realize that.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that was back a couple months ago, I think.
I'm not on social media, so I don't find that stuff out until way after. So,
Oh, I know.
but no, that's this week's episode. We talked about the draft. We'll get back onto our normal schedule here soon. Like I said, there's so much going on sports wise and wrestling wise as well. We're going to be able to catch up on our animes here. We have so many. Chip said we had to make a list. I've been thinking in my head. We have Delicious Dungeon still going, which is still number one. We have um, we have Kaiju number 8. We have Windbreaker.
Windbreaker.
For me, I have Jellyfish Don't Swim at Night. Um,
Hell's
then
Paradise
there
for me.
Hell's Paradise for you. And then there was Go Go Loser Rangers.
Go Loser Rangers.
Shoot, what is the other one?
Reincarnated as a slime.
We
haven't even started
We're
that.
gonna wait on that one.
Yeah.
Okay, that's right. That's right.
For me, I got God's Games We Play.
Yeah, God's Game We Play.
I haven't heard that one about.
It came out this season.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I literally
shoot.
messaged you guys and said you guys got to watch it. So
Okay. That was
Yeah,
many
you told me about
messages ago. So
shoot, what is the other? Oh, God, I was trying to do this off the top of my head, and of course I can't because there's so many just to think about and watch.
Did you finish Unwanted Undead?
I mean, it's
Is it on hiatus?
It's on the seasonal break or whatever they're going to
Gotcha.
do.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, I did finish.
Okay.
Or caught up, I guess.
Caught up. Yeah.
Shoot, I'm feeling I'm missing one. I don't remember what it is off the top of my head. Spring anime. Roger, why are you doing so? Viral hit. Gosh, I do as soon as I type it in.
Oh, that's the baseball one, right?
No, that's Oblivion Battery, which
Oblivion
is another one
Battery.
I'm
Okay.
catching up on. Viral Hit is the one where I told you where the dudes are fighting on YouTube to get views and stuff like that.
That's right.
It's just goofy and funny. Um,
Black Butler comes out.
I haven't watched Black Butler. I'm behind. I have to rewatch Black Butler to
Yeah.
catch up
Gotcha.
to it.
Yeah.
Remonster is another one.
Uh,
Did you start watching that racing one yet?
No, I haven't. Have you?
Uh, no, I was waiting to see if you watched it, see if it was good or then there's the new Isekai, which is a parody of Isekai, but also parody of Strong Weakest and Strongest called New Gate, which I want to watch.
Yes.
Um, The Fable, that's another one. And crap, what is the other one? Think. Shoot. Ninja Kamui still going. There's that one. And I think that might actually be it for now. And then obviously in a week we get
What?
My Hero first.
yeah, we get My Hero first. I think it's
Yeah.
May the 8th.
MHA season 7 and then Demon
Week after
Slayer
that,
season
Demon
4.
Slayer
You got
4.
Demon Slayer. Yep.
So yeah.
Why? Why do they do this to us?
And then after that, the Haiku movie comes out for me. Then the Blue Lock movie comes out. I'm like, bro, I can't do this right now. But yeah, there's
Then we got all of our upcoming conventions,
yeah.
all the videos
Yeah.
to edit. It's
Yeah.
Pictures to
I-
upload.
here's the thing. I'm not complaining about being busy. I'm complaining because I don't have enough time to
Enjoy
watch
it all.
all of the things that I need to watch.
Yeah.
Right.
But no, there's a lot going on. It's a good season of content. And that's just the anime stuff. There's also other TV shows and everything going on that I'm trying to catch up on as well. Like I said, I got cooking shows that I'm starting to get back into.
Right.
But no, thank you guys so much for watching. Always share, comment, subscribe. Tell us what you think. Don't be afraid. Say it with your chest. Chip, go ahead and end with the outro.
As always, what?
No, never mind. Go ahead.
Oh.
Go ahead, Chip.
I was to say, as always, please do not leave without leaving a like, comment, share, and subscribe on Spotify and right here on YouTube.
Thank you guys for all the love and support you guys have been giving us. And if you do continue want to support Movement Radio, check out streamlabs.com/Movement Radio /merch and go copy some merch. Yes, we have a lot of cool things coming up, conventions, just trying to get back into a groove of things and stuff. And, looking forward to a lot of the cool people we get to meet, hang out with. If you see us at a convention, say hi to us. And if you like this video, what did you think of the NFL draft? What did you think of the WWE draft? What do you think of the animes? What are some animes you're watching? Let us know in the comments down below. And we greatly appreciate you guys. We love you. Thank you for tuning in. And until next time, I'm Talon Williams.
I'm Chip Hazard.
I'm Roger Sierra.
And this is Movement Radio.